You know what? That's a sound, isn't it? That's that inverse liner lock, and it looks like a button lock. This is the Remette Meteor, and you can get this on the Remette site. I believe White Mountain Knives carries Remette. TACCOM carries Remette. I don't know, maybe Blade HQ does too. I don't know. But if you use rip it off the board, White Mountain Knives, you know, and you get 10% off. LTK is your discount code for that. Now, let's talk about the Meteor, because it comes in some different variants, which, hell if I know if I'm going to be able to show them to you. Well, here's this one. This is kind of the green fat carbon. That's different looking. And then, of course, that's Nebula. I think this is Nebula fat carbon. So you can see you can get them in others. Here's your basic stuff. The Meteor knife, okay, the RT-Bee, okay, the Remette RT Meteor. And here's your stats: 7.5 inches, 3-inch blade, closed length, and all this kind of stuff, thickness, etc., etc. M390. And all that, ceramic bearings, and this is there. I guess it's an in-house design. So, and a lot of them have been, and you know what? They're doing a pretty damn good job. But I had a buddy come over this weekend and look at. He was just messing around, looking at knives, and we were just visiting, because he lives over in Cape Coral. And you know what? He was really taken by this, because this is like this. It is a liner lock. This is called the compression lock, which is basically a reverse liner lock, but the way the liner comes in kicks that, and it closes in to create, when it comes up here, a hell of a lockup. And this one does the same. Now, who was it? OCD for EDC made a CME, compression made easy button, that you could put over here with adhesive, and it would stick on there. That way you could do it from the outside. I think I may have one in my inventory that's got the CME on it. But you can see here what they did is they just reversed the liner lock from this side over to this side, and then put the CME through here instead of cut an area out to compress the liner. They're letting it happen with this. So they're putting this on there, and it may be by virtue of a screw on the back side of there. But this is titanium, and this is some kind of a silver twill carbon fiber. Backspacer is pretty extensive on here. Goes around the corner. There's place for a lanyard. And inside, no. Well, of course, they machined all this area out on both sides to put the inlay of the carbon fiber. So, yeah, unless they skeletonized this, they couldn't really take much more off for weight relieving purposes. But there's the Remette. And it is a front flipper. Plus, you can also, which I like, just middle finger flick it. And here's what it says on the box. Right here. RT-PT. That's not easy to do. RT-PT-Bee. All right. And then they have this little lay over there. And, oh yes, this little thing that slings out there. That always catches me by surprise. But that's kind of the way they've been doing it now. And it's, I don't know. You might, don't get too enthusiastic. You might rip that off. But then in here, cloth, plastic, zipper shut. So there's that. Like that. Like this. And it just slides right in this little area here. Okay, and then the outer band goes over the top of this. That's cool. That's cool. Now, the exact, and I just showed you the specs, but it's 3.15 inch blade and 7.5 overall. Now down here, it's closer to 3.35 or 3.4 inch. So as that bolster goes up and in, it reduces your available blade cutting, and then cutting length is a little over 3 inches. Okay, but yeah, 7.5 overall, huh? Cool jewel. And it is, see how this down the middle, it's hard to see it with the carbon fiber part. It's easier to see it with the titanium. But I'll bet that's fun doing that too. I'll bet it's fun doing that. Look at the ends. Yeah, I see it's thinner on these edges and comes to a peak right there where the pocket clip is. And on the other side too. Yeah, not one job I'd like to have. No. But the lockup, 20% at least. Boom. You can do that if you want, If you want to keep your fingers out of the way, just do it like that. I mean, do it like that and then flick it out like that or front flip it, however you want to do it. Actually, I prefer to finger flick it and then just let it drop with the button. So what I can see here is that that's a pretty good lockup in there. It's 20%, like I was saying over there. It's about the same up here. So you've got that whole thing engaged there. And yeah, M390 blade. I was looking on here. I can't remember if I saw them stamp the blade anywhere, but I guess not. And of course these, so you'd have to unscrew these to take that off, and then you could get into here and of course take the pivot off from behind because there's no access to the front. But let's get in here and see if we can get some dimensions. 13.2, so it's 0.52. That's a good handful. Let's release that so we can get in, and 0.11 at 3 millimeter. So we got a 3 millimeter blade. That really has a lockup to it. You can hear how that kicks. Wow. Yeah. A lot of these, they don't have a real strong detent, but this one does. This has a strong detent, and so by the time it lets go, it's got power behind it, and that's why you're hearing it snap pretty good when it locks up. The ergos are really nice, and I can get all 4 fingers on here, and that was another thing Sean, when he came by, he's like, you know what, usually the small knives I can't get my whole hand on it, but I can do that with this, and you can. So, I mean, this blade is more like a dagger, well, a spear or dagger point, I guess spear point. But do they even say that on here? Because, yeah, that's how it comes off to me. Really an interesting blade shape. And cage ceramic. They're saying drop point. Okay. Okay. Seems like a spear point to me. But, and is it sharp? Will it cut? Okay. Yes. Remette, really interesting knife company, because the way I found out about them was when they were doing the really inexpensive knives on Amazon, and I think they still make them, and we had them tested, and their steel was correct on the D2, the 14C, all that, and then we tested the M390, and yes, and I think the M390 was like 61, I'm going to say, somewhere around there on the Rockwell, so it was solid in the green zone. And so, yeah, I'm really happy with them. The fit and the finish on them looks really good. I mean, the blade is centered. it feels good in the hand, and the construction is solid. You know what? Down below, in the description section and in the top of the comment section, I have been putting the newest video underneath, that prior video underneath. So there's a whole list of links of all the videos I've done on Remette in the past. So you can go through that list down below and click on whatever you want and look at the other ones, like the woodpecker, that the scale slides right off. There's no hardware that shows. And then, of course, the gravity knife, the swordfish, and, of course, the smaller gravity knife called the leopard, I believe. So, I mean, they've been doing some stuff that's really been appealing to a lot of people. But this one's the Meteor, and it comes in a bunch of different, you know, fat carbon variants. This one's more of a tuxedo look. But, you know, check it out. Solid. And this is, you know, this be a kind of a classy gent carry. It's nothing too heavy. Did I do this yet? Yeah, 118 grams. So over 100 grams. So what's that? What's that going to be? Come on. Don't jump around on me. Here it goes. Come on. There we go. 4.1. Okay, 4.1. That is 4.1 ounces. It's a chunk. It's 0.52 here, so it's, and you know, this contour here that you got, this is nice. Feels good in the hand. The ergos are good. Jimping up here. Not real significant though. Of course, this is unsharpened up here. And it's definitely very sharp down there. Oh, there they did. God, I was looking for, there's the M390. Wow. Not much billboarding, although you do get Remette here. But, I mean, come on. It's their knife. They want to put their name on it. I get it. They didn't stamp it here or anywhere else, so it's pretty minimal. Pretty cool. What do you think? Remette knives. You guys had any Remette knives? Check them out because there's all kinds of different models that have come out. A lot of people into them. I've seen Neves and other people, you know, talk about them as well. So, yeah, I know they're being well received. Links below. They're not affiliate links, but they're just showing my previous videos plus the Remette site, Instagram, stuff like that. And you guys stay sharp.